Okay, so Pepita, we've spoken quite a bit, and tell us first off, tell us a little bit about your business.
So we are knitters. It's a brand. It's an online brand, and what we do it is to sell knitting kits and yarns. So this is the basic explanation. But more than that, what we tried is to bring knitting to younger generations. So knitting 10 years ago, it was something more old-fashioned, more for grandmas, and it has a lot of benefits, and we really wanted to bring it through design, through modernity, to bring it to young people.
Awesome. So when I hear like kind of anything that goes to a younger generation, if knitting is something to bring to the younger generation, tell me how that impacts the world, in your opinion.
So we didn't. What I'm going to say it. We didn't start the company like thinking about it, but it's something that it really we realize with the years. It's been 8 years ago, 8 years since we started, and it has knitting has a lot of benefits. Not only to do your own needs and your own things, but it has a lot to do with mental health. It helps a lot of people to relax. Not only sick people that as well, but we all live in a very busy, very hyper connected life. We are always with the phone, with screens, and just to take a moment to relax, to do something with your own hands, it has much more benefits that you can think about it. And the other thing, which is, I think it's one of the most important things that I think we are knitters is helping people and helping a little bit consumers. It is about sustainability, not in the obvious way about materials, which of course all the materials is natural, the packaging is recyclable and everything. This, of course, we take it for granted, but the thing it is that when you knit something with your own hands, even though you do it for pleasure, for entertainment, you realize how much effort it takes to knit a sweater like that. It took me like 2 months every afternoon to do this sweater. So then when you go to a fast fashion store and you see a sweater that it costs $12, so it makes you like a little bit to think about it. Like I did it for pleasure, but it cost me like two months, and it's something that it's costing me $12. So the first thing is the consciousness, and also when you knit your own sweater and it gets broke or something or damaged, I assure you that you take the sewing needle and you repair it and you take your time and you hand wash it and you take more care of these clothes because it took, and it has something emotional about it. So it helps us to consume in a different way, like to consume less. You repair it, you take care of it, so you consume less. When for myself, when I have a Zara sweater and it gets broke, sometimes it costs me more to repair it in a store than to buy another one. So this is, I think, it has the sustainable part of changing our minds, but also a lot of mental benefits to relax, to distress, to be disconnected of the world.
I remember a friend of mine was knitting for like 4 months, and when it was done, she had like half a glove. So I understand that, like that. What I hear is a massive pride of ownership, which I think is the world is starving for as well.
For example, one of our bestseller yarns is this one that is super thick and is special for beginners because it's very thick, so you go faster, and it encourages you to finish it. So.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So you're here. You're the successful entrepreneur. Recently, I had my high school ask me if I would email them some of the things that I've been doing, the successes that I've had. I said, I'm only going to do it if I can send you also the failures that I've done and gone through. And I think in the world today, when we think of all the successes, we don't talk about the failures enough. And I think the more failures, the more success. So I'm sure you've had an abundant amount of failures. Share with us kind of the ones that have been the toughest and kind of, what you learned from, or how did you convert that, or how did you get through that?
I completely agree with that. And for me, I started it not like something, but I was 23 years old, so the cost of opportunity was very low. So if it went well, it was okay, and if it failed, it was okay too, because I was too young to. I think, and I think this determined a lot the decisions that we made at that time. And in the 8 years, 9 years almost that we've been with We Are Knitters, it has been a super journey, but for me it has been more a journey of suffering, like. And I didn't tell that. I didn't tell that until very recently, because we are supposed to be like superwoman, super everything. But the truth is, it was amazing. But I had more suffering part than cool and super successful parts. And I had a lot of failures, small failures, not enough to broke the company, but we had a lot in logistics, in HR, in, in financial parts, everything, and most of them related to my unexperience, because I didn't have any previous experience before doing We Are Knitters. And I remember one in 2016. I was 28 years old. The company already, the revenue was already like 5 or 6 million euros. It has grown a lot. We did it from scratch, Alberto and me.
What are you now?
We are in 12.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
and but at that time, we opened the warehouse here in the US, and it exploded, and everyone in my entourage was like, wow, it's amazing. People that didn't, of course, at the beginning, when I told them that I was going to do like a knitting company, they look at me like, but you don't knit, you don't know about internet, you don't know about anything, what are you going to do? So but then everyone was like, wow, this is super successful, congratulations. We were like in the Spanish news every time, like, because it's unusual, no? A niche company, like growing so fast and everything. And the better the company went, the worse I was like a person. Like I had a baby of 1 year old by that time. I didn't sleep. We were managing the company as like the beginning, like when we were like 2 or 3 people, and we were like doing a lot of mistakes. And my biggest mistake there, and my biggest failure, it was to cover it. Like I was like, no, we can do it. I can. We had venture capitalists in our company. I was like, if I tell them that everything is out of control, I'm going to disappoint them. So everything was in my mind, and I almost broke the company for not telling them, like, I cannot do this anymore. So the biggest failure, it was not to tell it on time, but fortunately, I tell them very openly, and this is one of the things that you told us before. Like, we don't ask for help enough. No, it's we think that we can do it ourselves, and then the second, it was that we tried to professionalize at that time the company, and we hired a super COO and. I've been told about culture at that time, but not enough, I think. For me, culture, it was something secondary totally, because I was like under the water. I was like paying the bills, like paying the paychecks. For me, culture, it was great and nice to have. And you don't realize how important it is until you...
I want to say something I think is extraordinary. Like, if there's aspiring entrepreneurs there, or people who are starting or want to start, here's a $12 million company who went through struggle and struggle and struggle. And it's a road that I see all the time. First, they judge you, then they applaud you, and then they said they knew you could do it. So that's to be commended, that to continue on that journey. So.
Thank you.
And I think it's a perfect segue. I think the world is starving with people who don't ask for help. anybody that I think you look at that's done anything great in the world, they didn't do it by themselves. And from a $12 million business over the years of struggle, here's somebody whose biggest challenge was not asking for help. So tell us a little bit how that transformed and the value of asking for help from people. I think sometimes our ego gets in the way and we think, oh, asking for help is from weakness when it's actually from strength. The people who are strong ask for help because they realize they can't do it all by themselves.
Yeah, the first thing is to realize that you cannot do everything all the time, and we are not good at everything.
Yeah.
Even if we run a successful company, I am not good at a lot of things. So I'm very good at some of them, and when you realize that, everything changed. And when you start, and it was one of my biggest lessons, it is that people, even super busy, super successful people, are really, really willing to help. So at the beginning, I was very, very shy, and I was like, no, I'm not going to bother them because they have no time. I am just a little company, and when you just start asking for help, it's amazing the response that you have, even for people that they are super busy. Of course, you get a lot of no's, I don't have time and everything, but you cannot imagine the people that they are willing to help, from people from design, from logistics, big CEOs. People really know the struggling about entrepreneurship, and they really value the effort. So they are like willing to help in a very altruistic way. So
I think that's incredible because I think people think, okay, I'm going to ask for help. And then somebody may say no. They could say yes. They could say no. They could say, go F yourself, right? I think that doesn't, what they say does not matter. Keep asking for help, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 50 people. Can you share with us maybe the one person that you asked for help from that made the biggest impact on you in your business and as a person?
There is a lot, and to choose one, it will be. It is, but I remember when I hired this person, I was like, I didn't dare to fire him because he had so much weight in the company and so much control of the company. And there is a girl, she's Beatriz González in Spain. She runs the most successful venture capital in Spain. She has in her portfolio, she's super busy. She works with politicians, with everyone. And I took a coffee. She's not my investor. She's just not even a friend. She's just someone of the entrepreneurship ecosystem. And I told her my story, and I started crying, telling her. And because I was so emotional and so stressed and everything, and I just started crying. And she's the person that helped me a lot with that. And she told me, like, she encouraged me a lot, gave me confidence. It was not just help in this specific thing, problem, and to solve it, that she also helped, but also she gave me, she's like 10 years old more than me, and she really gave me confidence, energy to continue, and a lot of support. Sometimes it's not technical help, sometimes it's more psychological and energy.
I'm a huge fan of women empowerment. I think the world is starving for it. And a lot of the women thought leaders that I look to, they say lead with vulnerability. So again, you have somebody here that's built a $12 million business that went through struggle, asked for help, and is being vulnerable. So I think that's a huge trait that the world needs more of in terms of the vulnerability. If there's an aspiring entrepreneur, whether it be knitting, whether it be any other part of fashion, and there's somebody in there that's doubting themselves, what's the one piece of advice that you would give them?
I think not every woman, but a lot of us, we lack of confidence. No, when I started the company, I thought that starting a company, it was only for rich people, super well contacted, with a lot of contacts, so that it was not for me. So I look for it like very aspirational, but I was like, I cannot make it. And then with a lot of effort, but also, and it's something that I continue and I insist a lot in entrepreneurship and in life, that the lack is super important. Sometimes the word luck in entrepreneurship ecosystem is like forbidden. And when we all have had a lot of luck, it's not all about effort and a good idea and a good execution. There are points that and I think it's fair to recognize that. But if you have the passion, the effort behind and everything, you get more luck.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of good things will come. Now it is to persist, and also there is with persistence and resilience, there is also you have to put your limits, like to put your mini objective, because to persist in an idea or something that is not going anywhere, it's also a mistake. So the good thing it is to put you like small goals, like it doesn't have to be revenue goals, but like to have an investor, to have a product, to have a website, like small baby steps, because no one starts and it's like success is even for me. I do not have like the sense of that we have been successful. We have achieved a lot of things, but there is still a lot to do.
Get it up for Pepita. Awesome. We'll hug it up. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.